Welcome to Westfjords. I'm Chris Burkard. I just finished individual time trial of the Westfjords Way, which is a route that a couple years ago I designed. It circles around the entire Westfjords of Iceland. It gets to show you kind of all the beauty of it. Since we created it, basically I wanted to do one fast push to see how fast I could do it. So 55 hours was what it took. It's roughly 600 miles, 1,000 kilometers, and this is the bike I used. I want to do this bike breakdown video for you because it's one of the most popular bikepacking routes now, and hundreds of people come to do it. And what I use for this time trial is also what I would use if I was going to tour it or try to do it, relatively quickly. This is my Ari Schaefer. It's a gravel bike. I have it outfitted with a little bit more modified front fork to take a bigger tire. The wheels are the 404 Firecrest zip wheels. I just had this pair because they're a little more aero and I wanted to go fast, but they are pretty sensitive for some of the rough gravel. This is the G1 Overland Schwalbe tire. It's in a 50C, so it's like roughly 2 inches. The bags for this, I brought Revel 8 frame bag, tail fin, top tube bag, full size, and a little Revel 8 rear pack. So I'm gonna go through kind of everything that I used, components, all that stuff, and it's a mystery. I'm gonna unpack this bike, and as you can tell, I am tired. I literally just finished, and I finished at 2:30 in the morning, and it was rough. So anyway, POC helmet, this thing always goes with me. A pair of the Roka CP1X sunglasses, SR1 sunglasses, sorry. These guys also, they sort of morph with the light, which is nice because you're always getting changing conditions in Iceland. As a part of my bike build, I've got Profile Design aero bars because there's a lot of road riding. I've got a little kind of feed bag up front that I used for water bottles and just extra water. All my trash. This is literally being unpacked for the first time. In there, Peak Design little phone strap. This is a Supernova light that I had against the handlebars. I didn't need the light most of the time, but occasionally I would. Tiny little flasher in the back. I had 2 of these, I lost one. I'm gonna go through the back to front. The drivetrain for this, you can't see it because I flipped aside, but it is Eagle Axis, and I have a 12-speed on there. It's all electronic. I took 2 batteries, and it's set up in a basically one derailleur because I just wanted to add simplicity to the setup. I didn't have any issues with the bike, no mechanicals, just so you know. Everything worked great. I couldn't get into like my biggest cog in the rear cassette, which was just some, shifting issue, but just, yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, in the back, my thick pair of gloves. This is always like my emergency. I don't want to get into this all the time. I always leave my stuff in the back for like just in case the oh shit scenario. My thick winter gloves, boom. I've got a whole rain setup, extra pair of socks because there are river crossings and I always like to have a lighter weight pair of socks just in case my feet get wet. This is my rain setup. So these are a super lightweight pair of rain pants. And then these are some Gore-Tex kind of shoe covers. Rain pants, 66 North shell jacket. And why I like this jacket is because it has the hood in the like the hood zipped away, so you're not basically having this hood catching all this air. It's a pretty lightweight shell. It never came out. I never needed it. It rained on the route, yes, but it never rained that much. That's everything that's in there. Okay, now for the top tube bag. This is empty right now, but what I was keeping in here was my Nightcore charger, 10,000 milliamp hours charger that I would always have on me. And that thing, I would have one cable, and the cable would basically charge my Wahoo bike computer with a micro USB and my phone with a USB-C. So I had a little splitter cable. A pair of headphones, a bike tool, just some extra. I love these tea tree oil wipes. Why? Because they're disinfectant and they aren't like too gnarly, and you can use it for your face and for your private parts when you're cleaning off stuff. There's also just a little CBD cream I'd use on my knees and stuff when the mileage got pretty hard. Other than that, nothing else in there. So this is the mystery side. I don't know what's in here because I just shoved a bunch of random food in there. One of the cruxes of this route are the resupply points. When you're riding it fast, you're often going through towns where everything closes at 5, everything opens at 10 a.m. So it's tough if you're riding kind of through the night or late to get any resupply. One of my favorite layers from MAP, this is Alpha Direct lined vest. Just a really good kind of mid layer that always keeps me pretty warm. In fact, I thought about not bringing a puffy and just bringing this. It's awesome. I use it on the Tour Divide, one of my favorite layers. The remnants of a double espresso can, trash, and a half-eaten Mars bar. This is a water bottle that I would basically keep right in here, and I would always fill this with my electrolytes. That would always go there, and then on my back is where I'd keep my water. Open Snickers bar. Oh my God. A sandwich, an old sandwich that I had made for me at, I slept for like 3 hours at this hotel, and it was late at night, and the chef knew that I wasn't gonna be there for making breakfast, so I asked him to just make me something for resupply. This is disgusting. Gloves, some like thin, lightweight pair of gloves. My hands get really cold, so I'm always bringing extra pairs of gloves. Oh my God. A bag of sour gummy ropes. My other glove, paper towel. A bag of soft eating gummy candy, which I like because the sour ones, the ones with sugar, they really mess up your mouth. Starts to feel like a weird environment. So these soft eating ones are pretty good. My extra Axis battery. This is like an Icelandic Mars bar. It's called a Yankee. Spring Energy gel, 170 calories, is a chocolate one. Really like this flavor. That was a little more electrolytes, some caffeine, as well as like a recovery drink. Sometimes when you're doing these long rides, I like to have a little recovery, meaning like a kind of a protein carbohydrate mix. That is gross in there, I'm not gonna lie. And then this is just my toolkit. This has got all my stuff. It's shredded, literally. But inside my toolkit is my pump, spare, little CO2, tire levers, things like that. So this thing is ready to be recycled. In there is just the remnants of food and other disgusting stuff. So that is that. I have so much food because the resupplies are far between. I didn't eat, obviously there's probably about 1,500 calories there. I didn't eat for the last 5 hours. I was having trouble digesting food, and so there's a lot of food that I probably should have consumed that I didn't. Other than that, layers. Let's go back through. Little lightweight map hat that I love there. This is a pair of like overpants, kind of like a slightly insulated. And a lot of times people love to bring kind of their just like a knee, like a leg warmer. I prefer to bring a full set of kind of overpants that can just go over your bib, everything. Mainly it gives you a little more extra cushion. And also I tend to find that it's just easier to get on and off than doing 2 individual legs. Bought those. Thin buff that I would always have. This is my MAP jacket that I absolutely love. It's fairly waterproof and really wind resistant. In fact, I got so warm wearing this all the time. This thing was worth its weight in gold. I also love that for simplicity's sake, a lot of these layers, they just sort of pack into their own pocket. And so it's kind of nice to be able to sort of make something kind of disappear and just pack into its own little pocket. This is a lightweight kind of MAP riding shirt that they just came out with. Why I like it is because it's looser. It doesn't feel like you got this like tight piece of clothing on. And yes, maybe I'm sacrificing some aero, but I really like the comfort, the feel. It also ventilates well and washes super easily. This is one of the biggest things about bike packing or bike pack racing is a lot of times these merino thicker layers, it's great for no stench, but it sucks when you have to clean it really quickly and wash it. Also, I brought some arm warmers, merino arm warmers. Here's my thin gloves. I pretty much wore these just like fingerless gloves all the time because they had some dual gel, which I'm still experiencing some hand pain because there was some rough gravel at the end. MAP base layer, just the thing that's on the body all the time, kind of keeping the sweat, from soaking into all the clothing. This is a Whisper or Ghost Light, I think, I can't even remember. Mountain hardware jacket. This is my puffy, this is all I brought. This is just the lightest weight puffy, no hood that I could find, and I usually bring this for like ultralight bike touring trips. I'd probably bring a different puffy if I was hanging out on the route. My main pair of socks are merino socks. My socks and my bib's over here. It's just soaking wet because at the end of my route, to finish this route officially, you have to jump into the harbor. And so at 2:30 a.m. this morning, I jumped into the Arctic Sea. And it was probably the hardest thing I think I have ever done, convincing and talking myself into it. And that is my bike. Other notable components, I have a Redshift stem, which gives me a little bit of suspension. This bike is a full-blown Frankenstein, I'm not gonna lie. There is Eagle, there is Red, and there is Force components. What I mean by that is that all from SRAM, just different pieces because I piled this thing together. My final time for the route was 55 hours, which I'm pretty proud of, but there's time to improve upon that. The bike itself performed incredibly. Again, this is the Ari Bikes Schaefer, and this is Chris Burkard signing off.